Welcome to A Garden a Day with Maidenbrock Gardens. On this podcast, we explore the world one garden at a time. Today is March 22nd, and this is episode 81. So far this year, we've surveyed gardens in Australia and New Zealand, China, Japan, Mexico, Brazil, South Africa, Botswana, England, Wales, Ireland, Tanzania, Morocco, Egypt, Uganda, Colombia, Argentina, Mongolia, Costa Rica, Guatemala, lots of islands, Tonga, Samoa, St. Croix, St. Thomas, Bermuda, Guadeloupe, Jamaica, Nevis, Puerto Rico, Montserrat. Where else? Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, Austria, Germany, Sweden, India, Thailand, Singapore. And I think I'm missing something. Oh, the United States! I think we've explored gardens in 22 states so far. We've been all over the place, and we haven't even finished a quarter of the year yet. Today, we are spending time in the U.S. again. Spring is really bringing much of the U.S. some typical March weather. Cold and snowy one day, warm sunshine the next day, then back to the cold the day after that. Sometimes snow in the morning and upper 60s sunshine in the afternoon. That's what we had here in my garden yesterday. In like a lion and out like a lamb, as they say. I'm hoping the lamb shows up for good pretty soon. I'm ready to dig in the dirt. Until then, I will just have to look at other people's gardens, like today's garden, with 3,000 species of plants and trees and 100 areas of themed gardens. Today's garden is just starting to wake up, with snowdrops and daffodils showing off their pretty little blooms. There are about 590,000 spring bulbs at today's garden, Red Butte Garden and Arboretum in Salt Lake City, Utah. This is the second garden we visited in Salt Lake City. The first was Temple Square all the way back on January 31st. It was a short episode, if I remember correctly, and I invite you to listen to that one if you're headed to Salt Lake City anytime soon. It might just inspire you to take a visit to the garden. Red Butte Garden and Arboretum opened in 1985, but like many of the gardens we've explored this year, the plants and the desire for a garden got their start many years earlier. Botanist Walter P. Cottam, one of the founding members of the Nature Conservancy, was a University of Utah professor from 1930 to 1961. He used the campus in his research, planting a variety of trees on campus to evaluate their hardiness in the Salt Lake Valley. Today, more than 130 of these trees still thrive on campus. In 1961, Cottam sought to designate the campus as an arboretum, and in 1977, a full-time director, Richard Hildreth, was hired to formalize the Arboretum as an educational facility in its own right. It wasn't long after that the need for gardens and a permanent facility was realized. The university dedicated 100 acres at the mouth of the Red Butte Canyon to serve as the Red Butte Garden and Arboretum. Today, about 75 of those acres are a devoted natural area, and 21 acres are devoted to themed gardens. The Arboretum includes this newer garden area and the University of Utah campus. Meandering through the garden are 5 miles of hiking trails. Themed gardens include a rose garden, children's garden, medicinal garden, an herb garden, a 4-season garden, a water conservation garden, a fragrance garden, and a floral walk, among many others. The herb, medicinal, and fragrance gardens are part of the Terrace Gardens that opened in 1996. The floral walk was designed to offer blooms from February through November. The garden's website includes a link to show what's blooming now and is a good resource for planning your visit to see the plants you want to see most. I've included the site in the notes for this episode. In addition to all the beautiful things to see, the Red Butte Garden and Arboretum is still a research facility. They participate in plant trials to evaluate hardiness in their climate, bank seeds of rare and endangered plants, and are actively working to reintroduce native plants to the garden. Garden tours are available between May 1st and September 30th, and private tours are available with advance reservation. There are a few free days throughout the year. Tours are not available on those days. The garden hosts a full events calendar, including an outdoor summer concert series, art exhibits throughout the year, flower shows, film screenings, speakers series, an annual garden party, plant sales, classes, workshops, summer camps, and so very much more. The garden is open at varying hours throughout the year depending on the season, so it's best to check their website before venturing out. They are closed on Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Eve through the first of the new year. And so ends our tour of Red Butte Garden and Arboretum in Salt Lake City, Utah. Join me here tomorrow to find out where we're going next. Thank you for listening. I do hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider telling your friends. I appreciate all your support. If all goes well, I'll be right back here tomorrow. See you then.